Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Thoughts on Education, an initiative by College Dunya. Today we have with us Dr. C. Shambhu Prasad. Dr. C. Shambhu Prasad is a professor in Strategic Management and Social Sciences area at the Institute of Rural Management, Anand. At IRMA, he coordinates a project on living farm incomes, civil action, equity and sustainability, and founded IRMA's Incubation Center, iSeed, for rural, social and collective enterprise. His publications and teachings have been in the domains of social entrepreneurship, rural livelihoods, sustainable agriculture, innovation management, managing producer collectives, and sustainable transitions. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
So, sir, my first question to you is that what is the latest program or elective that you are offering in your area of strategic management, which would help students outperform and stand apart?
So, in the strategic management area, we offer a few courses, some of which are not offered in other management schools. So, for example, I teach a course on managing collective enterprises, and this follows the leadership that IRMA has had in looking at forms of organization beyond an investor-owned firm. So, especially in the field of cooperatives, how do member-owned enterprises look at issues of profit, sustainability, and purpose? So, similarly, I also have courses on social entrepreneurship and enterprise management, and I also offer a course on public systems management. And I have a secondary affiliation with the social science area, in which I offer courses on development care.
So, sir, what are the factors that make the program of PGDM RM the best for students to opt for?
So, given the plethora of organizations and colleges in management education, I think the differentiation is something that aspirants should be looking at. And also given that, aspirants need to make a distinction between a management school and a business school. A management school is to use ideas on management which is independent of the form of organization. So therefore, and given the need for, managerial inputs with non-governmental organizations, with social enterprises, with collective enterprises, with, public systems, I think the curriculum of this, very few colleges are in a position to offer this, and the demand for this is quite high. And I think academic institutions like IRMA have been leading some of the discussions in this space. And these are useful additions to any aspirant looking at a much broader and more nuanced and at the same time extremely relevant kind of course offerings which few other management schools are able to provide.
So, what would you say are the best practices in the course that you're offering?
So, one of the things that some of the courses that I offer do not have a standard textbook. So we have to depend quite a bit on learnings from what is there in the industry. So often we do case studies in collaboration with development practitioners or industry professionals. So for example, in the course on social entrepreneurship, we undertook a case study exercise of 15 cases on agri-based social enterprises. And these cases are something that we also use in the curriculum. So these are very contemporary cases done specifically with the purpose of teaching and training. That's something we are also exploring in the farmer-producer organization space. So all of this again will not be part of standard textbooks. And the idea essentially is for students to get relevant knowledge, which is kind of industry specific and which has not been often written about. So sometimes as faculty, we have to spend a lot of time outside the classroom preparing for students to take this up. And we also provide opportunities for students to engage with people who are, working in the space, sometimes their own alumni. Once or twice we get a CEO of a farmer-producer organization to interact with our students. So that's broadly the approach.
And so according to you, what are some of the most valuable insights of the program that you're offering?
I think one of our advantages of our courses is we expect our students to be extremely grounded, even as they are rigorous with regard to their work. So the connect with field realities and what's happening on the ground is something that's unique to many of IRMA's offerings.
And sir, how does the program ensure that students are being prepared for the future in terms of industry exposure, in terms of entrepreneurship?
Yeah, so we encourage our students to learn outside of the classroom. In fact, in the course on social entrepreneurship, they are encouraged to spend time outside the building, meet people, interact. We give them projects. Sometimes significant part of the course offering is based on the final project that they do, where we encourage them to interact with people and then present their findings. So that's something we hope will get students more ready to what's happening in the real world, and also they have an opportunity to interact with some of the practitioners in the field who either come for talks or sometimes even in the classroom.
So that brings me to, how do you tend to build an industry connect in the program?
Yeah, so the industry connect comes in various ways. Sometimes it comes through the kinds of projects that one often does with consultancy organizations, either with the government or with consulting firms. So some of those insights with that we feed back into the classroom. Sometimes our training also provides insights as to what is the real world situation. And faculty do their own independent research, which makes this connect much stronger. So we would like to use the word industry much more broadly. So often industry is only understood as, corporate executives, but given the nature of our program, we use this with people who have real life experience in the sector they're working on. So industry could mean people who are in the cooperative sector or social enterprises. Sometimes we invite those who have won an Ashoka Fellowship to also interact with our students. And often we have a very strong alumni base, and we invite many of them to participate in our program.
So, sir, before we wrap up, my last question would be, could you brief us about some of the projects that students are working for in the strategic management area at PGDMRM?
Sure. So, in my courses, I think every course has a project component. So I just completed a course on social entrepreneurship and enterprise management. So in this, actually, they are encouraged to take an idea right from start, and they live with this idea almost throughout the course. They're encouraged to make mistakes and learn. They get peer feedback from themselves and from external people as well. And at each stage of the working of the project, we focus more on the process rather than the final outcome. We make a distinction between a project that will actually work in the field and a typical business plan competition, which many do participate. So trying to bring real life elements and make their thinking entrepreneurially is more important rather than their ending up as entrepreneurs alone. And that's a skill that we think is important for any aspirant today, irrespective of the kind of organization that they work. Most organizations want people to think in uncertain environments, deal with a lot of ambiguity, understand complex systems. And I think those kinds of skills are something that is a new paradigm of understanding, which we hope to inculcate through our courses and conversations we have with students.
So, sir, with that, we come to an end to this episode of Thoughts on Education. I would like to thank you for providing such valuable insights about your area, strategic management, as well as about Institute of Rural Management, Anand, as a whole. I'm sure the aspirants would find it very helpful. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you very much.